Jags Nation. This is the Action Sports Jags postgame show, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
Well, a celebratory night in Jacksonville. First Monday Night Football game in 12 years. A beautiful evening. Jacksonville was ready. The defense was not. Top seed on the line, and it turns into a miserable night. A loss, and the quarterback lost. We just don't know for how long. Hey, everybody, and welcome inside Everbank Stadium. Jaguars lose in overtime 34-31 to a game Cincinnati Bengals team. For anybody who thought they were just going to come in here and lay down, that didn't happen. Jamar Chase, a big day. Jake Browning, a huge day. Jaguars defense has some answers to find and some questions to certainly answer. Brent, Martineau, Dan Hicken. But the big story, not only a loss, but how long will Trevor be out? The early word, Dan, at least from some initial reports, an ankle sprain. You never know the severity of that. Could be a high ankle sprain or could be just a regular ankle sprain.
Yeah, you can't help but wonder. Listen, if it's not a season ender, it's a huge win because when he went down, the way he slammed his helmet, the anger that he showed, the fact that he walked off the field putting no weight on his ankle, it did not look good at all. And it wasn't, and look, the main story is Trevor, but the Jags got annihilated with injuries tonight, right? I mean, from Christian Kirk, who never came back. We can go down the line. And they battled offensively. They kept answering, but the defense had a bad night, man. And it was, the Bengals took it to them. And boy, this team, every time we get close to saying, hey, we can be the top team in the AFC, they kick you back into reality a little bit, and that's what happened here tonight. The Bengals played better. They deserve to win the football game. Yeah,
I think the Jags even got lucky at times to even be in the football game, and then got a little unlucky maybe down the stretch of it because a little ticky-tack holding call with C.J. Beathard almost won them the game, but they call it back, and then
it was just one of those, when the tackle gets outside and the defensive end's on the outside of them, and the quarterback's rolling that way, even if he just he throws his hands up, and he's almost always going to get the flag, and that was unfortunate because that could have been a great. My whole point at that point was if you could just somehow find a way to win this game, we'll worry about tomorrow, right? And now they've got to regroup and really. Listen, with Trevor being, again, just speculating, but if Trevor's out, we'll hear from Doug Peterson here soon, but if Trevor's out for an extended period of time, again, the focus reshifts to just somehow, some way, getting into the postseason.
Yeah, the balloon popped.
Which might be a good thing because we stink at home.
We do stink at home.
4 losses.
It's unbelievable.
I can't explain it. 4 losses, Brent.
And some stinkers on defense, Dan. I mean, they played really well against Kansas City here, but after that, they were awful against Houston. They were awful against San Fran. They were awful here tonight. This defense gave up 491 yards to Jake Browning. I think he was 32 of 37 for 340-something. They gave up 491 yards. I mean, 354 for Jake Browning.
Chase over and over and over again. And listen, when Joe Mixon is playing hard, they're good. He runs the ball hard, and look,
Jags' run defense stunk tonight.
It was not a good night, man. It was not a good night at all for the Jaguars defense. And again, here we are in the pregame show saying, man, listen, it's no longer. This is a good defense, a really good defense. They're third in the NFL in stopping the run. They're this, they're that, and tonight they were. Not this, not that. They were bad.
Everything you think you know, it changes in the NFL.
It's a week-to-week league, isn't it? And it really is.
Now Jamar Chase and company get to celebrate on ESPN instead of the Jags getting the spotlight. It's disappointment, and it kind of flips. The Jags have been very fortunate with injuries the last couple of seasons.
Yes.
Boy, did that end tonight in a big-time way.
Man, you think about it, like, the Jags lost 3 guys in the first quarter, right?
Yeah.
Kirk went down. Cisco came back, but he left.
Herndon.
And Herndon got a concussion, and he went out.
And then
Walker Little had to go. Trevor, obviously, the big story. Fatukasi left the game. There's 6 off the top of our head that we know about, and who knows who else got injured.
But Trevor and Kirk went down and didn't look good. No. They are.
And by the way, I think it could be bad for Kirk. I don't know enough, but it was definitely a groin injury, and it didn't. That one looked bad too.
Jaguars just a miserable night. I mean,
so many chances too, Brent. I mean, we needed someone on defense. God bless Josh Allen, the heart and soul, the MVP of the defense, man. Gets the pick down here. We scored, take the 28-21 lead. Okay, we got this thing. We let him come back down to score again. McManus misses a field goal. Otherwise, that kicks to win it. You can't miss the field goal. Their guy didn't miss. Our guy did miss. That makes you lose the game. they get back to 6-6 and have some hope going forward.
Jags still sloppy too, even on offense. They scored 31 points, so it's hard to complain about the offense, right? I mean, you get back up quarterback, you scored 31 points, go win the game, get the job done on defense. But I mean, to start the fourth quarter down here, they had a 3rd and 3 at the 16, and they get a false start and a delay of game. That was with Trevor in the game. They dropped the ball on 3rd and 4 early. Ridley dropped the ball after Trevor fumbled the ball. That could have been a big play right before the half. They missed the field goal, like you said. I mean, the Jaguars had opportunities, and they even got lucky a little bit. Parker Washington makes a heroic catch. He drops a fumble on a punt return. He recovers it. I mean, the ebbs and flows of the game. I'm sure Cincy could say some of the same things, but the Jags just did not play well.
It was nice to see Parker Washington.
It was
kind of a little bit of a coming out. Maybe the catch of the year for the Jags in the back of the end zone, which was another big play. But boy, oh boy, just disappointing all the way around, man. Just a game that you got to take care of. You got to find a way to get the victory at home. And against a team that was 5-6 and really struggling, but the Bengals, give them credit. The NFL, man, it's a tough league, and now we wait, and hopefully with Doug Peterson, although
he's not going to say
the way
much.
He usually says, he won't say much.
Yeah,
he won't say much.
I mean, so the report, I think, out of the national guys is an ankle sprain MRI tomorrow, and so Doug will not say much coming out of that. Maybe the agents will, and that's how this stuff will be leaked out a little bit. But if that is it, that would the way Trevor went off the field. A lot of people are talking about fractures and other things.
Yeah. That would be great news, right? That would be great news
on an ankle sprain.
If it's not, if it's just a sprain, right?
And so let's start to speculate a little bit. Let's just say he's out for a few weeks.
Yeah.
You've got the Browns next week, and then you've got Baltimore coming in, and then you've got Tampa on Christmas Eve.
Really tough
if that's
games.
A 3-week stretch, I mean, you got to find a way to win a couple ball games just to stay in the AFC South race and the playoff race. You just let everybody back in tonight, by the way. The Texans are a game out, and the Colts are a game out, Dan. So, I mean, this is wide open.
I really, again, and I've done this so many times this year, but I go from elation and, hey, man, we can, again, if they'd won tonight, they'd be the number 1 seed, right?
Yeah.
And yet I'm now sitting here thinking, we just got to find a way to get into the postseason, which, again, might be a good thing because anything can happen in the postseason, and we're terrible here at home. So maybe it'd be best for us to be on the road.
Yeah, they might need 3 wins right down the stretch. Liv, say that again?
Locker room is open.
Okay, I'm going to head to the locker room here in a little bit, but there you see Trevor leaving today. And why didn't they get him a cart? Do you think he wanted to tough it out?
Probably. I mean, that's how he is, And I tweeted this out, Brent. I was like, I keep looking down at the tunnel wistfully, hoping to see the golden-haired prince come jogging back out, ready to lead us to victory, and it just wasn't the case. It was a bad, and I'm not an expert on the line play, but it did not seem like the offensive line played good at all.
I thought
tonight.
They lost the trenches on both sides.
We couldn't run the football again, and this is the downfall of this football team, is that offensive line. And man, we got to get these guys just got to get better. ETN, he had an early one where we looked at each other in the press box. It was a 3rd and 1, and we ran the same dadgum play up the middle and got stuffed and had to punt. Those little things like that just drive you nuts, man. But it's almost like, if Trevor's not passing, we're in trouble, and that it can't be that way. You've got to have balance in the NFL. They got Dearness Johnson out there some, but there's just nowhere to run for these guys, man.
Yeah, they
tried the edges all night long. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. We got ourselves in position, but again, ETN, he's banged up, so he only had 11 carries. Evan Ingram, man, what a gamer. Great performance tonight. I sure would like to see that guy is a star, man.
Yeah, I still don't think Zay Jones, by the way, is completely healthy. I think he's lost a step because of the injury.
Trevor had him on that long throw, and for some reason either stumbled or slowed up on it because he was mad. He slammed his helmet. A lot of helmet slamming tonight for the Jags. Just a golly, man. And I just feel so bad for the Jag fans, too, because they keep turning out. Man, the place is electric. It's Monday Night Football. We're all excited. I think you thought, we all thought the Jags were going to handle the Bengals. Yeah. And they just, man, again, tip of the cap to Cincinnati, because they played hard and they came down here and put one on them.
Sports, man. I mean, it's never what you think it is, and they got a lot of good players. That's what people kept missing.
Yeah.
I mean, Chase was good. Higgins came up big when he needed to.
Oh,
Boyd.
The 3rd and 10 in overtime.
Yeah.
Tyson Campbell had a tough night. I don't think he's healthy either, quite frankly, because, I mean, he got burned on the Jamar Chase touchdown for 75 yards, but the 3rd and 10 to Higgins on the little out route was just a pitch and catch.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we got him. If we stop him right there, they get the ball back, you still got a chance. You know, a tie would have been okay.
Yeah.
I mean, 8-3-1 is a lot better than 8-4. That still gives you a game and a half cushion, and now you don't have it. Now you're just one game clear of, and you're done with Houston and you're done with Indy. But you know, we got Tennessee left.
Feels like they made 2 defensive plays: the sack on the first series by Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, and the pick by Josh Allen. Other than that, on
Josh
defense,
Allen had another sack.
Oh, and he had another sack. Yeah.
I mean, again, the guy is played at an elite level, but the rest. As you look at the standings and you see now these Bengals will get the Colts. Houston goes to the Jets, who I don't know who they're. Joe Namath might be playing quarterback for New York this weekend. I'm not sure because they keep asking it. They're taking tryouts or something, and we're going to have to go to Cleveland in another battle of backup quarterbacks, man. It's just devastating when your quarterback goes down. It really is.
A lot of teams have suffered through it, by the way. I think 7 backup quarterbacks could start next week in the AFC if Trevor is unable to go. All right, I'm going to go to the locker room. Okay. You take it from here. Doug Peterson should be coming out shortly, but we'll try to get reaction from the players on Trevor's injury.
All right, there goes Brent. Brent's going to go get us some sound in the locker room. We'll get that as soon as we can, and we'll flip it around for you guys. We really want to hear from Doug Peterson and hear what he has to say about the Trevor Lawrence injury, and just a tough game. You know, again, you just think they're ready to go and they're ready to play, and man, right from the start had a chance. Cincinnati said, okay, we got nothing to lose. We're playing aggressive, right? So early on, they go for it on their first drive on 4th down, right? What happens? They don't make it. Short field, boom, we go down and score. Again, then they come back. We get the ball back when they, I think, missed a field goal the second time, but again, can't take advantage of it. Oh, yeah, they tried the 58-yard field goal. It doinked off the crossbar, second week in a row, and we get the ball in great field position. But there we mess up, man. We got a chance to jump on them early, and we don't. And then suddenly they get going offensively, and they never stopped offensively. I mean, this kid Browning, I don't know a thing about him. He was 19 of 21 at the half as you're looking at the quarterback comparison. And Jake Browning, 32 of 37, 354. Look at the rating he had. Trevor, by the way, best rating of the year, 125.4. Played terrific, threw 2 touchdowns, and snuck one over as well. He was bringing us back time and time again. But, man, oh, man, that just... Walker Little, I don't know what happened on that play. I don't know if he got blown up or he got pushed back, but he stepped on his ankle, and then he left the game as well. Just a gut punch of a night for Jaguar fans. And my you know, I think about, all right, here's Doug Peterson. He's made his way to the podium. We want to get him right now.
I don't have any information yet on Trevor. We're still evaluating him, you know, so he'll have more, you know, tests and things done here tonight and tomorrow, so I'll probably have a better update for you tomorrow on that. But, I mean, yeah, we had position players go down, you know, but look, it's part of the game. You know, it happens, and it's unfortunate, but, you know, next guy up has to be ready to go and play. And, you know, I thought the guys that filled in, you know, were just that. They were ready to go.
Defensively, what were some issues that you guys had tonight and trying to slow down Cincinnati?
Offense or defense? Sorry.
I'm sorry. Defensively? Yeah. What kind of stood out in terms of why they were able to have the, you know, 491 yards?
Yeah, we didn't stop the run. You know, I mean, that's the strength of our defense, is stopping the run. That's, you know, we just didn't do that. We failed there. And we got too many explosive plays we gave up. And, you know, when you can't, obviously offensively, when you can't run the ball, and then when the running game for them is going, I mean, you see what happens, right? That's where the explosiveness comes from. And, you know, we had moments on offense where we got some explosives, but, you know, theirs all stemmed from being able to run the ball successfully.
Coach, what's your initial level of concern with Trevor's injury?
I don't know until I talk to the doctors, honestly.
Confidence level in CJ going forward? Obviously, will you guys make him the starter? Will you look at other options out there, or?
Well, yeah, we'll see where Trevor's at first. And but listen, we got 100% confidence in CJ. I mean, he did a nice job, getting us down the field there and tying the football game. Should have been the game-winning field goal, but it wasn't. But got a lot of confidence in CJ, and he's a veteran player. He's played a lot of football, and if he happens to be the guy, then we get behind him and support him.
It seemed like defensively there was a lot of communication issues. Is that what you saw out there? And if so, what was sort of going on with that?
Well, I mean, listen, if you're on the field, were you on the field?
No.
Could you hear the crowd?
Yeah, I could hear it.
No.
What do you mean?
If you're on the field and the crowd, as loud as they are when we're on defense, you're going to we have to reiterate communication, and that's all it is. It's just double checking with everybody. It's not communication issues. It's just being able to communicate the calls effectively. So there's a lot of talk that has to go back and forth because of the way the crowd was great today, and that's what you want. And it does kind of, put your defense in a little bit of a bind because of that, right? No different than the offense going into a environment that's very loud. Communication, I wouldn't say they're issues. They're you just got to over communicate.
Well, I guess the question is why couldn't you guys overcome that?
What are you talking about specifically?
You said you have to overcompensate with the communication.
You just have to you just got to talk. You just got to make verbal communicate or eye contact. You got to get closer. It's just part of a loud environment, and it's repeating yourself, as much as you can out on the field. It's foyer to the front, it's to the secondary, out to the corners and all that, and just everybody has to be on the same page.
Doug, you guys had to burn a timeout. I think it was your second one of the second half because someone ran on the field. Did you get an explanation, or what? Can you explain what happened?
It was unfortunate. One of our guys, Evan, was asking for some water after a play that he had made and just ran out on the field. It's unfortunate, obviously that's my responsibility to make sure that doesn't happen, and it's just an unsportsmanlike, and they take a timeout away.
Hey, Doug, you mentioned about your confidence having CJ going in right now at quarterback, but how much do you have to overcompensate, or how much do you have to change up going into the next week or so if Trevor's not available to go?
Well, that's something we'll look at, but I don't think we have to change up a whole lot, CJ can – you just got to utilize CJ's strengths, and I don't want CJ to be Trevor either, CJ's got to be CJ, so that's something – if moving forward, if CJ, plays next week, then that's the game plan, right? You utilize his strength and tailor the offense around that.
Doug, way back in the back. Will Brown, WJCT News. This is a Monday night game, and you're turning around and taking a road trip on Sunday. With so many people who had to leave the game injured, describe the challenge of getting this team physically prepared for a shorter week. Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge, but listen, it's part of the game, and it's why you have 53 and you got your practice squad. You got to get the next guy ready to go, and it's going to take everybody this week. We don't have much time. We're back on the field in less than 2 days, and so we just got to get the next guy coached up.
Couple more here, Brent.
Parker Washington a few weeks ago comes in and replaces Jamal Agnew as a punt returner. Tonight he gets an opportunity when Christian goes down. Just his overall performance and what he did, making his first grabs tonight, and just everything that he was about. Yeah, I mean, he did a nice job. When Christian goes down on the first play of the game, it's not what you expect. But I thought Parker filled in nicely, and Chad Hall had him ready to go in that spot, and he made some really nice plays for us. Obviously, the touchdown catch and a couple others. So something he can build on and continue to gain confidence as he plays.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up there.
The way Christian got hurt, was that something unusual? Especially hurting a groin, the way he fell, it looked like an unusual kind of an injury or unusual kind of a play.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. It was a great play, obviously, and I don't know if it was when he got kind of twisted around there and maybe, torqued or whatever. Yeah, it just unfortunate, such a great play to start the game, and that happened. So, not good.
When you've got a bunch of guys that get hurt like this, do you worry about the guys being shell-shocked, the rest of the team being shell-shocked?
No, I don't. We're too far down the road. Got about a little over a month of football left, and it's full steam ahead. So, we've got to get the guys that are hurt treated, and we got to get the next guy ready to go.
All right, there you hear Doug Peterson, and boy, it's a different Doug tonight for one of the first times. Boy, it's a tough loss, you can tell. Couple interesting notes. He knows a lot more about Trevor than he's letting on. He said he's got to talk to the doctors. He's already talked to the doctors. He knows exactly what's going on with Trevor, but that's generally how they do it, so that's fine. It is what it is with these, with the coaches and such. He intimated a little bit that Christian Kirk, he used the word tore, and it didn't look good. And I think early indications are Kirk could be gone for a lot longer than Trevor. That is just not to mention all the other guys who went down and need to get treated. Again, this team has got to put this behind them. They've got to find a way to somehow, some way, cobble out a victory in Cleveland, which is not impossible, although the Browns have a very good defense, and they're going to have their hands full up there. And it's just golden opportunity blown is what it is for the Jaguars. And he talked about stopping the run, talked about, the trenches. And as you guys look at the visions of Vegas, you can close your eyes because the visions aren't there right now, obviously. There are some advantages, and I had been very gung-ho on the Jaguars, but I did always throw this caveat out there, barring catastrophe. And what happened tonight, as far as the Jaguars football team, is catastrophic. There's no other way about it. You can't. It's Joe Burrow going down for the Bengals. Now, look, the Browning kid came and played a great game, but they're 6-6. He's not going to play like that the rest of the year, every week. They're backups for a reason. C.J. Beathard is a backup for a reason. But is he capable of winning a football game? Yes, he is. I can't imagine Trevor Lawrence would play Sunday. I can't imagine it. But can he be back in 2 weeks? Maybe. Again, we'll have to get more of a prognosis. Is it a high ankle sprain? Kenny Pickett did the same type of thing, and they're talking about him possibly playing this week, and he just got hurt this past Sunday. So we'll see. Who do we have, Liv? All right, let's go with Foye Oluokun. Defense, not good at all tonight. Brent caught up with him just a minute ago.
Didn't execute a lot of our calls. Energy was, we took a little dip, and then we didn't get our momentum back by making the plays we're supposed to make. Did us a little bit in the RPO game, started scrambling. Got to execute our calls when they're called.
Did they do anything you weren't expecting?
I think they executed better than we executed. Obviously, they were able to march up and down the field, do what they want. So they obviously brought it today, and we did not.
Did some of the injuries, I know Trey goes out early, then you lose Cisco for a couple plays, Foley hurt. Did that factor in at all?
Next man up mentality. We're all talented on the defense. It's all about executing our calls, making sure that communication is good across the board, being able to get off on third down, getting the second and long, third and long. You got to be cleaner earlier in the drives, earlier in the down and distances, so we can get to third and long, and then really tackle better. We didn't tackle well at all today. A little step behind, so we got to find a way to get back our energy right.
How do you move on from this one?
Beautiful thing is always next week. It's really must-win mentality all the time. So, good Cleveland team we're about to go face. We got to right our wrongs, get back in the win column.
It seemed like there was a lot of plays where maybe the defense was having trouble lining up or just discombobulated. Is that accurate? Is that what you saw out there?
I really got to go back and watch the film. communication is a big part. Winning first, second down, getting the third down. But when we're all clean and doing what we're supposed to do, I know we can play way better than that. So obviously, got to get back to the drawing board, maybe, own our calls and play better.
Trevor's going to shell-shocked? Everybody shell-shocked?
Shell-shocked?
Yeah, when Trevor went down. And
we were about to, I don't think we were shell-shocked. They didn't get 3 that drive, but we were still in a position to win. We play CJ all the time in practice, so we know he's a very capable quarterback. We're just trying to find a way to win. Obviously our prayers went out for Trevor, but we were trying to find a way to win that game.
If you're able to share a post-game message from guys in the locker room, from Doug.
We got to find a way to get back in the win column. That's all. Get back to work. 5 more games. Really, it's just must-win mentality. Race to finish the end of the season. Got to finish the right way.
Words I don't ever want to say. CJ Beathard at the podium.
Inside the 5, and you turn around and see the flag, and it is what it is.
CJ, did you? I apologize if you asked earlier. Did you get shaken up a little bit on a play?
Yeah, I said I landed on my shoulder a little weird, but nothing I'm too worried about. So
nothing that affected you later in the game or anything like that?
No.
Could you also just go through the emotions? You and Trevor are so close, seeing him go down, but then you have to focus on the job that you have to do. Just how tough it is to go through those emotions so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Trevor's, my best friend on the team, and when you see him go down like that, I've been here 3 years, and he's battled through all types of injuries, little dings here and there, and to see him have to get carried off the field is tough. It hurts, but at the same time, it was a moment where you don't really have time to you still feel bad, but you kind of got to quickly turn it around into, all right, I gotta go. We got a 2-minute drive coming up, so.
Kirk goes down, Walker Little goes down, a bunch of guys, Cisco goes down and stuff. I mean, it seemed like a mass unit out there tonight.
Yeah.
An element of maybe disbelief or surprise or shock that so many guys are going down in a game, like.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, it was one of those games. It just felt like every other play, guys were getting hurt, and not just little nicks and bruises here or there, but guys having to come out of the game, and it's tough. I don't know the extent to a lot of guys' injuries, but I just hoping and praying that they get better quickly and help us make this playoff push at the end of the year.
I apologize if it's already been asked, but did you get a chance to speak with Trevor after the game? What's his spirits like? Or
yeah, he's doing good. Obviously he's sore right now, but I talked with him in the locker room, and he was good spirits. He was complimentive of me and just proud of me and stuff, and just feel bad for him anytime when your friends is hurt. All the guys, Christian, Cisco, all these guys that are dinged up, because they put so much work and effort and practice and lifting and everything. Everything goes into it. And anytime guys get hurt, whether it's for a play, whether it's for a long period of time, you just feel bad for them.
All right, thanks, CJ.
Yep.
Appreciate it, CJ. Thank you.
All right, that's CJ Beathard. And CJ, we're going to need you, buddy. We're going to need you to cobble together somehow, some way, a victory for the Jacksonville Jaguars Sunday in Cleveland. Again, purely speculation on my part, but watching Trevor leave the game and walk off the field, I would be hard-pressed to think he'd be able to go on Sunday, but you never know. We'll find out more throughout the night and into tomorrow about the severity of the ankle injury that lost him. Christian Kirk also went down. Trey Herndon went down. Foley Fatukasi left the game. Cisco left the game, came back. Walker Little left. I mean, just one after another. We have been very fortunate around here with injuries, and we got a sledgehammer of them tonight, led by the franchise going down as well. So that's where we are right now as the Jaguars lose to the Bengals in overtime, 34-31. They have 4 losses at home. 4 losses at home. Jaguars Report Live rolls on, though. We'll be back tomorrow. You're darn right we will. We press on. Despite the injuries, we'll be at Sneakers. Come hang out with us if you would like. Jaguars come up short. They lose 34-31. They're 8-4 on the season. Not all is lost. Let's not let the ship sink. Let's keep it afloat, get healthy, and get into January. Do that, and then we'll see what happens. So just some things going forward to kind of hold out some hope, but a disappointing performance again here at the bank for our Jacksonville Jaguars. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Liv, are we done? Yeah, we're done. Yeah, it's 12:30. Let's go home. I got to get up early. We're going to call it a night. Thanks for hanging out with us. And tough one tonight, gang. Tough one for sure. Jags lose to the Bengals 34-31. Up to Cleveland on Sunday. Good night.
Jags Nation, thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax postgame show. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.